Hello, good evening, everyone, and happy Dhanteras to you all. First of all, can you all please just let me know if I am audible? Just put it in the chat if I'm audible or not. Uh, okay. So, how many of you have actually seen me before, and how many of you are new? I'll just take a few minutes to explain everything, and I'll just hand it over to sir. Uh, Okay, so I hope sir is also here. Okay, so sir is here, so I'll take 2 minutes and then I'll just hand it over to sir. Okay. Uh, so I'm audible. Now a lot of you guys might not know me. My name is Tanish Jagwani, and I have been recently showing up in all of these online essentials that are going on, these boot camps that are going on. And my main aim is to interact with you guys, understand a little better, and help you get a better understanding on how the processes that we've changed. So we've changed the certification progress, and we've also changed a little bit that happens in these sessions. For everyone who are new, you just need for assignments and certificates. I'll just explain quickly. You need to submit your all the days ka assignments, and once you are done with those assignments, the other thing that happens is these your assignments that are submitted go to our subject matter expert, and once it's reviewed by them, with after a week of the session closing, you get your certificates. So as soon as the session ends, you do not have to panic ki the you haven't gotten your certificates. It comes in after a week, so please have patience until then. And if you do not have your certificate by the end of the week, please reach out to me. I am the person you need to reach out to, and hence I am here to interact with you guys. Now I believe you all have many have sent me messages for these certificates. Do not worry, I have kept them into consideration. I just haven't had the time to reply yet, but I'll reply to everyone. I didn't submit any assignment, but I got a mail that I scored 10 out of 10. How? So basically, Sticky, someone might have used your email ID to submit it. There is no other uh, explanation for that. That's it. I'll not take much time. I'll also tell you that there is a challenge that happens. You get 500 rupees for each participation, not participation, but if you get selected, it's a random giveaway kind of thing that we do. Uh, First of all, take screenshots of the entire session, post it up online, post it on LinkedIn, post it on Instagram, tag Let's Upgrade, and a random winner, irrespective of your followers, counts of likes, and anything else. Uh, you guys can use it, post it, or आप लोग eligible हो जाते हो, you get eligible. Now, as you can see in the chat, my mods have been helping me out. Assignment link they're giving out the OneDoc, and a lot of things. You need to refer to those. That OneDoc is very important for you guys. You will get all of your notes, you will get your assignment submission link, you will get your attendance link वहाँ पे ही. ठीक है. Now that's all I have to say. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me at support@letsupgrade.in. If you want, I'll put that in the chat. support@letsupgrade.in. So that is the email ID that you need to reach out to. And when you submit your assignments, you get a reply that has me in CC, so you will get my email ID from there as well, so you do not need to worry. And okay, so that's it from my side. I'll just hand it over to Saurabh sir from here, and just give me a second.
Thank you, Ganesh. Yeah, also can you, yeah, thank you. Okay, then. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, guys. Good evening, Sticky. Good evening. Okay, I think a lot of gamers here. Good evening, Adil. Good evening, Shivam, Sharon. How are you all? How are you all, guys? Good evening, everyone. Good evening. How are you all today? Good evening, guys. Good evening, Sanju. Good evening, Kocha, Jaswant. Good evening, Omnatita. Good evening, guys. Good evening, everyone. How are you all, everyone? How are you all? First, tell me that. Because now we have completed two sessions and we have covered a lot of things in those 2 sessions. Now we know how to create a JS project from scratch, no matter what kind of JS project it is. We know how to set that up. We know how to use inbuilt packages. We know how to use third-party packages, right? And yesterday, we understood all about APIs, what exactly APIs are, how they work, what is a request, what is a response. We understood a lot of things, right? So, earphone link, no, it's a very simple earphone, buddy. It's a very, very simple earphone. I think it's Boat, so you can just search it. It's like 1,000, 1,200 rupees earphone. Very, very simple earphone. Okay. So, good evening, guys. Good evening, everyone. And I hope that today you are ready to learn something called as Express, one of the very, very prominent and famous third party libraries. Normally, third party libraries don't get this much name or fame. This is one of the very, very famous libraries. It's this famous. Think of it like this. You have heard of mean stack, right? Mean stack, Mern stack. So in that mean and Mern, E stands for Express. So it's not a language, it's a library. And also it's not an official library, it's a third party library. But it's that prominent that in the name of the stack, Mern stack, mean stack, MEVN stack, in all that stack, this is mentioned. Like in Mern stack, M stands for MongoDB, which is a database, obviously big thing, right? R stands for React, again a very big framework. And then what do you have? N stands for Node.js, which you use for your development. Then you have Express, so a library mentioned in the name. That's how big it is. That's why everyone learns this, and everyone should learn this if you're planning to do API development using JavaScript. So today we'll talk all about Express. We'll build a complete full-fledged API, and I'll also talk about middlewares. As I mentioned to all like always I mentioned, right? I'll always go in detail. So yesterday we understood everything about APIs, request, response, what are the components, right? We also build our API from scratch. We saw how to handle everything one by one, point by point. And today we'll dive deep in Express. And as I mentioned, right, whatever we made yesterday was already easy, but Express will make that stuff 60 to 70% more easier in 10, 20, 30 less lines of code. Voice is a little low. Guys, is it fine now? Is my voice fine or is it still low? Can you please tell me, everyone? Is my voice fine or is it still low? It might be because of my throat as well. As I mentioned yesterday, right? Throat is having some issues. Guys, is it fine now or is it still low? Can you please confirm that? Low, it's low. Okay, let me see if I can increase it from somewhere. I'm not sure. Yesterday it was fine, right? From where can I increase it? Hello, hello. Okay. Hmm. Fine. Also, I think let's consider that maybe this is fine. Okay, let me just do one thing. Let me change my earphone. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Let me change my earphone real quick for you. Hello, am I audible now? Is it much more clear now? Can you guys please confirm once? I just found out my old headphone. Is it clear now? Is it much more clear? Can you please confirm that quickly, guys? Is it much more clear now? Is it much more clear, much more better? Sounds perfect, crisp and clear. Okay, great then. Okay, let me also switch on my camera then. Okay, cool. I hope it's fine. And also, let me just, yeah. Okay, great. Great. So please move the camera to the right side of the screen so that the text are visible. Also, yes, yes. Mod, can you please move my camera to the right? Can you please move that? Can you please do that so that they can see all the text? Sir, I had a doubt how much Node.js and Express.js we should know for a backend. Please, can you provide a roadmap? Yes, I'll definitely provide a roadmap as this is the last session. So at the end of the session, you guys have to wait because I'm going to provide a complete roadmap on how to become a proper API developer and what are the things you should learn. Not only Express, what are the other things you should learn? Okay. Okay, guys, then let's go. Let's go, everyone. So see, yesterday what we did was we basically created a very simple API by just using an inbuilt module called HTTP. So in Node.js, there is an inbuilt module called as HTTP, which helps you to create a server. Very simple first thing. It helps you to create a server and then it helps you to accept requests and send responses. Yesterday we learned about this, right? It helps you to accept requests, send responses, but all via one function. There is only one function that we saw. That's why we had to use if and else. And then we also had to parse the URL. So we did the parsing of the URL, we did the conversion of the data, we had to use the request object to check the method. So it is not tough. Whatever we did was not tough, but it was lengthy because there is only one function. First thing, there is only one function. Then you have to extract the URL. Then you have to parse the URL. Then you have to extract the request data. So there were a lot of things that were going on. And Express will do the whole thing in half lines of code. So if by using the HTTP module, you're writing 50 lines, by using Express, you will simply write 20 to 25 lines for the exact same thing. That's how easy it makes it for you. So now, guys, let's move ahead and let's jump on to something called as Express.js. So first of all, again, a 2-minute idea of what Express is. Simple. Express is simply a library which is available in Node.js. So library which helps you to create APIs. That's all. That's all. Now, again, it's a library. That means it will give you a lot of functionalities which will help you to simply create APIs. That's it. Now, the best part is we know what's an API. We know what's a request. We know what's a response. We know what is post. We know what is get. We know request methods. We know everything. So we know all about APIs. And now we can simply go ahead and start creating it using Express. So Express is simply a library which will give you a lot of functions by which you can create APIs in a much more simpler way. So yesterday we did from scratch and now we will do it using Express. So guys, are we ready and excited? Can we move ahead then? Because there is nothing else to talk about it. It's simply a library. It's simply a library which has functions which you can use to create APIs. That's it. So can we directly go on to code today? Tell me, guys. Can we directly jump onto the code? Can we directly jump onto the code? Let's go. So now, first of all, what I'll do is see, I already have index.js, right? In which yesterday's old code is there. I'm not going to remove it. I'll keep it. I'll keep it. But what I'll do is, okay, we'll keep it and we'll close it. Today, we'll create a new file in which we'll write our code, our new Express code. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to create a new file and I'm going to call that server.js, something like that. You can call it anything. Let's call it server.js. And also in our package.json, because today I don't want to run index.js because it's having yesterday's code. So I'm simply going to change it. When I run npm run dev, please run server.js. Okay, please run server.js. So that's it. Basic change. Now, as I mentioned, that Express is a third party module. Express is a third party module. That means you have to install it. So simple. Just go in your terminal in the project folder. And guys, what is the command we use to install things? Come on, tell me. You will do npm install. And remember, very important thing, don't do -g here. I don't want to install Express globally. I only want to install Express in this project. So Express, that's it. Express. Now it will take maybe 20 seconds. Oh no, just in 2 seconds. And that's it. Can you see something, guys? Can you see here? Express dependency is also added here. That means, yeah, your project is using now two libraries. One is Chalk and one is Express. So your project is using two libraries. That's where you can see it. Now let's close it. And now, guys, Express is installed. And now let's go and let's start creating our API endpoints. Remember all the tricky things we had to do in API from scratch. We had to parse the URL. There was only one function. We had to use if and else to identify if it is a get method or if it is a Pokemon route or if it is a Pokemon route with ID. So remember all the tricky things we did yesterday. Now all that will be very easily or simplified by using Express. Let's go. Let's import this module first. So const, again, this is just a variable name. You can name it whatever you want. But again, let's follow a good practice. Express. So Express require Express. Okay, first thing done. That's it. Now the first thing that you need to do, this is, see guys, first of all, I'm showing you the basic setup of Express. First of all, I'm showing you the basic setup of Express, which is you simply have to create an Express object. So first thing you have to do is const app. You can name it again whatever you want, but normally we follow naming it app. So const app equals Express. Camera is off. Let me switch it on. I don't know. After these, actually, I'm taking sessions after a long time, right? That's why it might be happening. I need to change few things. Don't worry. In the next sessions, this will be changed. The whole setup will be changed. Definitely. Don't worry. Is it switched on now? Is it switched on? Yeah, I think it is. Good. Okay. So, guys, here we go. So first step, import, which is important. Second is, I'm also going to comment so that when you receive this document, you should be able to understand what's going on. So create an Express object. Okay, second thing. And now, third thing is start, or you can say create and start a server. Because again, guys, if you want to run an API, that means you have to keep it live. So if you have to keep it live, that basically means you need a server. So create and start a server, and that's very simple. Just do app.listen. You can see, right, it's already becoming very simple. And then now here mention the port. So on which port you want your server to run. I want to run it on 8000, similar to yesterday. And then again, this also has a callback function, which will run if your server is up and running. So again, let's do console.log server is up and running. Simple. Running on port 8000. That's it. Guys, that's it. That was the very simple setup of Express. Your first part is done. Any doubts in this? Are we clear with this, guys? So Express, import Express, create Express object. It's already looking better than the HTTP module, right? But guys, listen, one very important thing. Express is not magic. Internally, Express is still using HTTP module. Internally, Express is still using HTTP module. It's just you don't have to write the code from scratch. So Express is giving you functions, but internally Express is still using HTTP module. That means Express is built, if I have to mention, it is built on top of HTTP module. It's not a magic thing, it's not a new thing. It's simply built on top of the HTTP module only. Are we clear, guys? And now let's see. Let's run this and let's see. So npm run dev, and we know that this time it will run server.js. Let's see. And here we go, guys. Server is up and running on port number 8000. Amazing. So first thing done, creating the server and running it. We didn't have to do create server, then callback, then all that stuff. Now then, let's see how to handle a request. Now here comes the best part. Now you have this express object, right? Now you have this express object. You will use this express object called app for everything. For handling any kind of request, you will always use this object. So let me show you how to handle a basic GET request. So what you need to do is you just have to do app dot. Now just think, what request you want to handle? Get, post, all the methods are here. See, get. If you handle post, post. If you want to handle put method, put. If you want to handle delete. So for everything, it has a function. That's the best part. That means now you don't have to do if request.method is delete, if request.method is update, put, if request.method is post. So that thing is gone completely. Now you just have to do this. So app.get, and that's it. This means whenever a GET request comes, this function will be called. Now this GET function, by default, so not by default, normally has two parameters. First is the route. On which route you want to call it. Let's say Pokemons. Then what is the functionality you want to execute? So here you pass a simple callback, and that's it. That's the basic setup, guys. That means this is equivalent to this. This is equivalent to this. If request.method, if request.method is equal to get, and whatever we had, parsed URL dot path name. I'm just writing a random stuff, like a simple rough idea what we used to do, slash Pokemons, then do what? Remember, so we had to do this thing. Now we don't have to do this. App.get, that means if the request method is get, and if the route is slash Pokemons, simply do whatever code I'm writing here. That simply execute that and send the response. So now you no longer have to do this if logic. Are we cleared, guys? What's going on here? Are we cleared? Can you please confirm? Are we cleared or not? So that's how simple it is. And now in this function, you will receive the request object and the response object. Request object to see whatever is coming in the request, and response object to send the response. And that's it. That's how you will create endpoints, guys. That's how you will create endpoints. That's how simple it is. So now let me do one thing. Let's send a dummy response. So again, response dot. Now here, guys, you will never use end function. You can if you want, but Express has a lot of better functions. Express has a lot of better functions. So yesterday we were using response.end because that was the only function in HTTP module to send a response. Here you have a lot of better functions. Here you have something called as send. Best part, remember yesterday, if you remember, guys, yesterday when we had to send a response, which was a JavaScript object. Remember yesterday when we had to send a JS object, we first had to convert it into JSON because end is not able to send JS objects. It is only there to send string. So we had to convert our object into JSON string to send the response. That is not the case with send. You give send anything, it will automatically convert into JSON. You don't have to worry. So one more better thing, right? Send will automatically convert anything to JSON for you. You just write the object. For now, let's send a dummy object. Now see, I'm sending an object. It's not a JSON. It's a JS object. Message. Let's just say get request success. And that's it. Save, up and running, and let's check out the browser once. So let me open a browser window. and let's check it out. So guys, localhost, it is running on port number 8000 slash Pokemons. And can you see that, guys? Everyone, can you see that? It's already coming in JSON. If I do pretty print, see, it looks like a JSON proper. Yes, I'm using NodeMon. Next Sam, I'm already using NodeMon. From yesterday only I'm using NodeMon. Is it cleared, guys? Everyone, are we cleared? I'm already using NodeMon, buddy. You can see if I save my program, it automatically restarts. So I'm already using NodeMon. Are we cleared, guys? Everyone, your first simple endpoint. No big deal. Very, very simple. Cleared, guys? Everyone, can you please confirm quickly? Are we cleared with this? Now, it's up to us. Internally, we can do whatever we want there. I can do whatever I want there. Right now, I'm sending a dummy message, but I can send a file data, I can send DB data. Don't worry, we'll do all that. But first, are we cleared with the basic idea of an endpoint? So this was one thing. Now just compare, guys. Now just compare. Look at this code and look at this code. Just for one endpoint. Forget about the second endpoint. Just for one endpoint. Just for one endpoint. Look at the code. Look at this much code. Creating a server, parsing the URL. Look at this much code. And look at this much code. See for yourself now how easy it is to create APIs using Express. How easy it is. Now, let me make it more easier for you. Now, remember yesterday, the major difficulty that we faced was extracting the ID. If someone is sending query parameter, that was the major difficult thing for us yesterday, right? What we had to do? We had to parse the URL. Then after parsing, we had to extract the query. Then from query, we extract the ID. Here, Express provides a lot easier way to extract the ID. Let me show you how. Now here is where you focus. Here is where you focus. So let's say, I'm saying people can also send ID in the URL. Now remember guys, yesterday, first of all, before we move ahead, yesterday I showed you that we normally send ID like this. Slash Pokemons, and then we used question mark ID equals to 1, 2, 3, which is not bad. It's correct. It's a good way. But in APIs, we don't follow this question mark logic. No, it's okay. It works fine. But when we do real API development, modern API development, we don't follow question mark wala idea to send query parameters or to send URL parameters. What we follow is people should send variables or query parameters by just putting a slash 1, 2, 3. That's it. I want people to send parameters like this. This is the modern way. We don't use question marks in our modern APIs. We just want to send data like this. Is that clear, guys? This is the modern way of sending data using URL parameters. So, how do we do it? How do we create an endpoint, or how do we create an API endpoint or a route that will handle this kind of variable if someone sends it? Very simple. Again, app dot one more get method, one more get request on same route slash Pokemons. But now slash colon ID. I'm going to do something like this slash colon ID. And here, same stuff. Request, response. That means now what will happen is, if someone sends a request on, let me do it here. If someone sends a request on localhost colon 8000 slash Pokemons, that will come here because this is the route that is matching. In the server, go to the slash Pokemons route. It is matching this one. If someone sends a request on localhost colon 8000 slash Pokemons slash 1, 2, 3, now this doesn't match. This URL and this one is different. This URL matches this route slash Pokemons slash something. So guys, remember this colon is important. This colon tells Express that ID is a variable. That means In the place of ID, some data may come. 1, 2, 3, ABC, XYZ, MNO, whatever it is. If I don't put colon, then it becomes a normal route. Then to call this route, you have to do /Pokemons/ID. You cannot pass any data. If you want to pass data in place of ID, you have to put colon. By colon, the Express knows, oh, it's a variable. That means in place of ID, some data will come. Let me show you. Let's print that ID. Let's send a dummy response first. Single get request success. And let me show you how to use the ID, how to utilize that ID value in your code. So for that, I'm going to log that. Console.log. You have to use request.params. Dot the name of the variable. What is the name of the variable, guys? ID. So this ID also comes under request object only. This ID that you're going to be sending in the URL, it is also available in the request object only. Everything that comes from the client, it will always be in the request object. Always. So this ID that you have mentioned here is also going to come under the request object. So request.params.id. And that's it. Spelling mistake somewhere. Console. Sorry, my bad. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ankit. Okay, now guys, let's test it. Let's test it. Now see. Let me increase the console area. Yeah. And now let's go in the browser. And see, if I send it to Pokemons, get request success. Okay. If I send it to Pokemons /123, single get request success. That means the endpoint is correct. We have hit the right API. And in the console, let's see, are we getting that 123? Here we go, see. You got the value. See how simple it was. Yesterday we had to do so many things. Parsing the URL, extracting the query, extracting the ID. Here it was this simple, guys. Just 2 lines and that's it, done. Are we cleared, everyone? And again, guys, this is just a variable. You can name it whatever you want. ID, name, random stuff, whatever you want. But again, it should make sense. So please name it properly. Okay. And also you can pass any value. It's not a type related thing. You can pass a number, you can pass a string, you can pass whatever you want. But again, it should be either string. Mostly it will come as a string. Remember that. Because it's a URL. URL is always a string. So just telling you that you can pass any data. Are we cleared, guys? Everyone? Are we clear till now? So now we have 2 get requests. If a get request comes for /Pokemons, this will be called. If a get request comes on /Pokemons/something, 1, 2, 3, ABC, XYZ, it will go here. Okay. So now we have created 2 very basic endpoints and they are all working. But now I want to create more endpoints, guys. I want to create more endpoints. What I want is, I want to create post endpoint. I want to create delete endpoint. So I'll create them. I can definitely create them. But now the problem is, I cannot test them. Because so far, I'm using browser to send requests to my server. But browser is mainly capable of sending a get request. From the URL bar, it can only send get request. Remember that, guys. In the URL bar, from the URL bar, browser will only send get request. So now we need to do something else. Because if I create post endpoint, if I create a delete API, if I create put API, to test those, I cannot use browser anymore. So I have 2 ways. Either I create a front-end application using React or using JavaScript or using some logic. But that's not feasible because to create a front-end application, we need time, right? Definitely we'll create in future. For now, what we can do is we can use something called as a testing client, a very, very important tool that all the developers in this world use. A testing client, API testing client. Have you heard of Postman? Have you guys ever heard of Postman? or Thunder client or something like that, or Insomnia. So there are a lot of API testing tools, because if you create API, you can't always rely on browser, or you can't always rely on a front-end application. What if browser? Now you can see browser only sends GET request. So browser is off. We cannot use that. We can't rely on a front-end application because we have to wait for it to build that. So now we are going to be using a testing tool, a testing client. And you can either use Postman, or there is also an inbuilt testing client in VS Code. Let me show you. If you go to extensions, I'll show you. A very lightweight. Postman is a little heavy. So there's a Thunder client. There's a tool called as Thunder client. If you search, you will see. See this? Thunder client. A very lightweight API testing tool. A very lightweight. So install. Let's install this. Trust and install. And as soon as I install, can you see? One more icon got added here. See that? One icon got added here. And that's it. That's what I needed. So one more tool has been added in our VS Code. And now we can open that tool and see. We can create request here. We can create request. Click on that and see, guys. See it for yourself. Let me put it down and see. This upper part is the request area and this lower part is the response area. Let me show you. Let's go here. So now, what are the components? Remember, guys, what we learned yesterday? What are the components of request? First is URL. HTTP : what's our URL? Localhost : 8000 / Pokemons. Then request URL is done. Request method. Here is where you select the request method. Get, post, put, delete, patch, what? In this case, get. Okay. Any headers for now? No. These are some dummy headers. We can close them. We don't need them. No. Any auth? No. Any body data? No. Any test? No. Oh, any query parameters? URL parameters? No. Simple. URL and get. That's enough. So request area is done. Let's send. And see, guys, our response is here. Much more better than the browser. So now we don't need the browser anymore. We can use this to test our whole API. So let me close that browser. We don't need it anymore. Inside VS Code only, we can do all the testing. Are we clear? Let's test the second one as well, guys. What was the second endpoint? /123. Now it's a different hit. It will hit a different API. It's a different hit, right? Because now we are calling /Pokemons /123. This will call the second endpoint, second API, because I'm passing 123, which will go in ID. Single request, success. And you can see we're passing 123. Are we cleared, guys? Everyone. Both endpoints are working, and now we can utilize this for testing. Cleared. So now we are good, and we can move ahead, start doing post endpoint, put endpoint, delete endpoint. But for till now, guys, are we cleared? Are we cleared till now? Can we move ahead? Let's go and let's go. Everyone, I now again, it's been like almost half an hour, so I want answers from everyone. Are we understanding Express till now? Are we understanding Express till now? As today, we're going to be creating a full-fledged API. And I'm also going to teach you something about middlewares. Again, a very, very important topic. So hopefully till now we are cleared. Guys, okay, easy peasy. Nice, amazing. Great. Let's move ahead then. Let's create one of the very important API routes or API endpoints. Let's create a post endpoint. Now it's going to be a little tricky here. Please focus for the next 5 minutes. I want your complete focus because there are certain things you need to do here. So please focus, okay? And also before this, I want to teach you something. Wait, very important stuff. Let's stop this for now. Let me teach you something first. So let me open Excalibur. again. Okay. Yesterday's diagram, guys. Please focus again, guys, on the theory. I always choose less theory, but only when it's important. So please focus. So let's say this is your client. Okay. And this is your server. Today I'm making a big server because I want to show a few things in there. Okay. Okay. Cool. And these are your API endpoints. These are all your API endpoints. Let's say these are your API endpoints. First endpoint, or your API, small APIs. Second endpoint. Okay, guys, please don't think a lot about my diagram. I'm really bad at making it, but just trying to make sure that you understand everything. So these are my 3 endpoints, and let's say this one is a get endpoint. Get endpoint. Okay, just trying to make sure that it looks a little better. This is going to be my post endpoint. Okay, and so I have 3 endpoints, very simple, no big deal. And this is going to be my delete endpoint. Okay, okay, cool. I have 3 endpoints. Now, what's the basic logic, guys? From client, a request comes to this endpoint, and this endpoint sends a response to the client. Till now, this is happening. This client can be anything. This client can be a browser. This client can be a testing tool like Thunder client, or this client can be a mobile phone, a mobile app, or this client can be a real front-end application. This client can be anyone who is calling my API. Anyone. Now, this whole thing is working. Request is going, response is coming. This whole thing is working in our API till now. But now, I want to talk about a really, really important thing in API development. I want to talk about something called as a middleware. A very important concept in API development. See, one more thing now in your bucket, middleware. What is a middleware? Again, don't think too much. Also, if you have heard of something, you can forget that right now. Let me teach you very simply what exactly is a middleware. A middleware is simply a function. A middleware is simply a functionality which sits between your request and the actual endpoint where the request wants to go. Listen to me very carefully, guys. A middleware is something, it's nothing but a function, guys. When I say something, it's a function. A function that sits between your incoming request and wherever the request wants to go. So let's say the client wants to hit this endpoint, this get endpoint. So I can put a middleware between them. If I put a middleware function between them, that means the request will first come to this middleware function. And now if I want, I can do or write some logic in that function. Now from that function, I can do a lot of things. I can check the request. How is the request? Is it good? Is it bad? I can do some changes in the request. I can do whatever I want. So if a request is incoming, let's say I'm the middleware. If a request is incoming, I can take that request, I can make changes in the request, and then I can forward it to the endpoint. So a request was going to an endpoint. Now I'm in the middle. I take that request, I do changes, and I can forward it. Or I can remove something from the request and I can forward it to the endpoint. Or I can also block it. No, this request is not allowed. So if I found something fishy in the request, I can block it and directly send a response from here. No, you're not allowed. So a request came, but instead of the endpoint, it gone to middleware. And in middleware, we found something fishy. So we send the response back. No, you're not allowed. That means your endpoint is secured. So there are a lot of things you can do in middleware. But the basic idea is a middleware is simply a function which sits between the incoming request and the endpoint where the request is going. In that function, you can do a lot of things. You can make changes in the request, you can block the request, or you can just change something or sanitize something and move it forward. Are we cleared, guys? Everyone, is the idea of middleware cleared? Is the idea of middleware cleared or not? Can you please confirm that quickly, guys? Are we cleared, everyone? Please, can you confirm that? Is the idea, is the theory clear? I'll also tell you why I'm teaching this, don't worry. But is the theory clear? Is the theory clear? Okay. Now, why I taught this? Why suddenly? Like yesterday we didn't talk about this. Today, why before post request? Now, if I wanted, I would have directly taught you post request and I would have directly told you that, oh, this is how it works. But no, I want you guys to understand how post actually works. So let me show you that. So normally, see, get request is a very simple request. It's a simple request that goes and asks for data. So there is nothing in the request. Request is very simple and plain. But when you are sending a post request, that means you're asking the API to create some new data. So as a client, you are going to be sending some data, a big data. It can be a big JSON, name, age, blah, 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 blah things. So in the request, you might be sending some big chunk of data, a big JSON data. Okay. Now, remember this, guys. When you send a big chunk of data in the server, the data doesn't come as a whole. Let me also clear that to you. So let's say if this is my data, think of it like this. This is my data. Okay. A simple JSON. Which I'm sending in request. Okay. Okay, very simple data, but this can be 10 fields, this can be 20 fields, this can be 30 fields. So consider this data as this circle, as this block. Think of this data like this chunk, a big chunk of data. So when actually you send a data in request, what actually happens internally? Internally, let me remove this middleware for some time. So what actually happens? In your server, this request or this data doesn't go as a whole at once. This whole data doesn't go as a whole at once. No, it's big. Your one request cannot take the whole data. So your request goes in chunks. 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%. Have you heard of packets, guys? Packets. Data packets. So your request goes in packets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 packets. So if your chunk is very big, it will go in small packets. On the server, someone has to be there who will collect those packets. Yes, something like buffer, exactly like buffer, exactly like buffer. So on the server, you have to write code to collect that data chunk by chunk. So let's say this data is divided into 10 chunks. So someone on the server, or you have to write some code on the server to collect that data chunk by chunk and then make that whole data and then use it. Because your data is not available at once. No, your whole data is not going to be available at once. It will come chunk, 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 chunk. Getting my point? So you have to write some code to collect all that chunk and build the whole data. Got the idea, guys? So whenever you send a big data in request, it doesn't go as a whole thing. It goes in chunks, it goes in packets, it goes in buffers. And then you have to write some code there to collect all the chunks. Before the endpoint uses it, oh wait, let me collect all the chunks for you. And then once all the chunks are here, oh, data is ready. Now you use it. Got the theory idea, guys? Got the theory idea? So that's how things happen. So now the issue is, we can do two things. Either we write that code to collect the data chunk by chunk, or we use an inbuilt middleware which will do it for us. There is an inbuilt middleware which I can apply here. This middleware will internally collect all that data for me, collect all the chunk, make the whole data, and then it will provide it to the respective endpoint. Then it will provide it to the respective endpoint. So my job is done. I just have to apply an inbuilt middleware. I don't have to write any code. I just have to use an inbuilt middleware which is there. Is it clear, guys? So that middleware will sit. A request comes, middleware sees, oh, data is coming chunk by chunk. So let me do one thing. First, I'll stop the request, collect all the chunks, collect, make the whole data. Okay, now the whole data is here. Give it to the endpoint. Use it. That's it. You just have to use the inbuilt middleware. So guys, is the idea cleared? Hopefully the theory is cleared now. So now let's go. So this will all happen internally. We will never see it, but just wanted to give you the idea of what happens. Okay. So there is a middleware called as Express.json. Okay. And you can apply it on your post request. You can apply it on your post request. So I can go here. I can write / Pokemons. And here you can apply your middleware. Express.json. Like this. So I'm saying for this post endpoint, I want to use this middleware. That means now, if a request comes on /Pokemon's endpoint, you can also use a body parser, 44444. You can use a body parser, but that's now the old way. That is way too old. Now we don't use body parser. But again, that's also middleware. That's also middleware only, right? But now it's old. We use Express.json nowadays. We don't use body parser anymore. So guys, see, what I'm saying is, if someone sends a request on /Pokemons, and if it's a post request, first it will go to this middleware. And this middleware, it will help us to convert that data. It will collect all the chunks and make it a good data. And then this endpoint or this function will be called, the actual functionality. Are we cleared, guys? Everyone, are we cleared? See, we just had to apply the middleware. No big deal. Just the middleware. And let's send a response. Response. Post request success. And let me show you how that data is looking. So console.log, data will again come under request object. So request response. And the data will be available in request objects body property. In this body, the data will be available. Whatever you send, the data will be available. And see, we didn't have to do anything. No chunk collection, no complete data making, no all that stuff. Directly request.body. But internally, this middleware is doing it for us. Internally, this middleware is doing it for us. And don't worry, guys. I'll also teach you today only how to create your own middleware. Today only I'll teach you how to create your own middleware. This is, I'm using an internal middleware. Okay. So this is simply a function which is sitting between your request and your actual endpoint. That's it. Are we cleared, guys? But this is an inbuilt middleware. This is already there in the Express object. We don't have to worry about it. Are we cleared, guys? Everyone? Is the theory idea and is this logic cleared? Is the logic cleared? So again, people are asking, can you explain it again? Yes, definitely. Just give me a little moment. Let me open the browser. See, as I mentioned, right? If I don't have the middleware, simple logic is, if I send this request with this data will go in chunks, small chunks. So this data will go in small chunks to the endpoint. And in the endpoint, we have to write some code to collect all those chunks one by one, and to make full data. So you have to write some extra code. There is an inbuilt middleware which by default does it for you, which is Express.json. So we simply applied that middleware at the request. So now this middleware will collect all those chunks. It will make the full object available, and then it will give it to the endpoint, and you can directly use it. It will give it to the endpoint in the request.body property. And that's what we are doing. We are using request.body. If I don't apply this middleware, this body property is not available. This body property is not available. Is that clear, guys? So first, we understood what's a middleware, right? First, we understood what's a middleware. A middleware is nothing but a function which sits between your request and your endpoint. And you can do whatever you want. I'm using an inbuilt middleware. In the next step only, I'll show you how to create your own middleware. It's very easy. It's like a kid's task. Very easy thing. But first, let's test it, guys. Let's test it. If this is working or not. Sorry. In the VS Code only we have that, right? So now, guys, we are sending request to Pokemons. Make sure we are sending a post request. And now we're also going to send some data. So here's my data. And the data is going to be in JSON format. And you have to write it in the body area. Remember, guys, you have to write it in the body area. And now let's go. Random data for now. Okay. Is that clear, everyone? Simple data, name and age, no big deal. Now what I need to test is, I need to test if my request.body or whatever data I'm sending is getting printed in the console or not, if it is available or not. So let's send 1, 2, 3. Oh, some issue. What is that? Cannot post. Why? Oh, sorry. Pokemons. Spelling mistake. Pokemons, not Pokemos. 1, 2, 3, send. And here we go. Post request success. I got my response. And also look at in the console, guys. We have our data. Name Saurabh, age 29. All set. Are we cleared, guys? Are we cleared with this? Let me show you one thing. If I don't apply that middleware, what will happen? Is the body available or not? Let me remove that. I have removed the middleware. And now let's see. 1, 2, 3. See that? Request is successful, but data is undefined. Because that body in the request was actually getting added by the middleware. It was the middleware trick who was adding that data. Is that clear? Guys, are we cleared? Are we cleared or not? Can you please confirm that? So that's why that middleware is important. Okay. Okay, guys. All good till now. All good till now. Once you have understood this, then you already know API development. Don't worry. Guys, all set. I want everyone's answer. Are we clear till now? Don't worry. I also tell you what is 200. Okay, don't worry. See, yesterday I was explaining all this. Don't worry. We'll talk about everything. Don't worry. Don't worry. Now, let's also use a put. Okay, a put. So app.put. It is for update. Could you show top code? Okay, you can see that. There we go. You can see that code. Okay. Okay. Now see, guys. A put request is mainly for updating data. A put request is mainly for updating data. So remember, in put, see, in get, you send data in URL parameter. In post, you send data in body. In put, you send data in URL parameter as well as body. Remember that, guys. This is the logic. That's how the API world works. That's how it is created. Okay. So guys, please remember that. That's how it is created. Okay. So put, here I'm expecting two things. That's the, what do you say, norm, or that's the convention. So Pokemons / here user will send ID. This ID is for which data to update, because in database or somewhere wherever you have stored your data, there will be a lot of IDs, there will be a lot of data which will have IDs. So based on the ID only you update something, right? So you will send ID. Also you will apply middleware here because you're going to be sending data, and then here request response. And now in here you will have the ID as well as data. That ID is to help you identify which record or which data to update, and then what actually to update, that will come in the request body in the data. Let's access both them. Let's access both of them. First, let's access the ID. How do we access the ID, guys? Request dot params dot ID. And how do we access the data? Yes, just above we learned it. Request dot body. I want to see if both are coming. See, first of all, it's up to me if I want to pass the ID or not. The code is in my hand. But we also have to follow the API creation conventions. That's how the whole world knows about APIs. So you cannot change it for yourself. You cannot change it for yourself. Remember that. We have to follow the rules and regulations of API building. Even though it's your custom API, you can do a lot of cool stuff or new stuff, but you have to follow the convention of APIs. So in put request, you pass a ID through URL for identification of which data to update and the actual data that you want to update in the body. Okay. And also let's dummy response just to make sure the API works. Are we cleared, guys? So I'm just checking if my data is coming or not. Just checking. So now let's send a put request. Put Pokemons /123. And also my data, I'll keep the same. For now, it's fine. I'll keep same body data. And it's a put request. See that, guys? Let's send it. And see, I got my ID as well as I got my body data. Both are available. Are we cleared, guys? Are we cleared till now? Are we cleared till now or not? Can you please confirm that? Are we cleared? Please, guys, come on, tell me. Guys, can you please confirm? Yes, same thing for now. I did the exact same thing. Guys. Are we clear till now, everyone? Guys, all set, all good? Great. Now then, let's move ahead. And delete is also same. App dot, now you know actually. Delete. And in delete also, you will send some ID. Because what to delete? You can't delete anything randomly, right? So see, all the logic of API development has been thoughtful. It's completely thought by all the developers. What will you require in delete? An ID, right? So /Pokemons /ID. And see, I don't have to, and here we are not getting data, so we don't have to apply middleware, just the endpoint. And now you have completed all the endpoint setup. Params is parameters, request parameters, URL parameters, Adil. It means URL parameters. Okay, it means URL parameters. So no need to print ID. I'm sure we'll easily get it. Just send the response. Okay, guys, everyone. And now you have completed your whole API setup properly. This is the API setup for one single resource for Pokemons. And now you can go ahead, and we can actually go ahead. I'm going to do it, don't worry. We can go ahead and start writing code, actual code in that. Now, let me talk about one really important thing, that whenever we are sending a request, what we are getting in the response. Remember guys, yesterday I mentioned in response there are three things: headers, data, and status code. So you can see here we are getting a status 200 OK. That status is what status code means. Yes, next time. Patch is also for update. Yes, put, patch, both for update. Yes. Put is for complete replacement, complete update of the whole object. Patch is for a single property update. So if it's a big record, I'm only updating a single property somewhere, that's patch. Put is like replace the whole thing. So guys, see, you are getting this 200 here, right? This is the status code. So server with the response always sends a status code for the client to understand what happened with the request. Because client will not always read the message to understand what happened. Because sometimes message can be big, small. So we need some way by which we can first identify, was it successful or not? I'll read the big message later. I'll read this response data later. First, by just identifying the status code, I can get to know what happened with my request. Was it successful? So 200 is like successful. 200 is okay. But there are a lot of status codes. There are a lot of status codes. And actually, for different, what do you say, response types, you have to send different status codes. Let me show you. Wait. What we can do. Let me open the browser window quickly. Yeah. If you search for HTTP status codes, see, this is the official website where you can see all the different status codes. So see guys, let me zoom it for you. And again, you cannot choose it. They are fixed. You cannot choose it. They are fixed. You can just mention which status code to use properly. So see guys, 100 to 199, informational response status codes. 200 to 299. So anything which starts from 2 is a successful response. Anything for redirection is 300s. Anything for client error is 400s. Anything for server issue, it's 500s. That's why remember, when you ask for something and it's not there, server sends you 404 not found because it's client issue. I made the mistake. I was asking for something which is not there. But when server crashes or something happens, you always get 500 because it's server issue, server crash or something happened. So by numbers, you identify what actually happened. But see, for now, for us, everything is coming as 200. For everything, we're getting 200 because we have not mentioned, so far, we have not mentioned any status code. That's why by default, it's all 200. But no, actually, when a post request is successful, we don't send 200. We send, and that's how you send it. Status. Here you mention it. Response.status. You send 201. 201 stands for successful creation of something. 201 stands for successful creation of something. So I'm saying, if I'm sending a response of post request, I'm going to send 201, not 200. By default, it's 200. So that's how you mention your own status, guys. And now you'll see, if I send a post request, what happens? See, guys, 201 created. That's how it works. Are we cleared, guys? Everyone, are we cleared till now? Can you please confirm that? Are we cleared? Sir, can we achieve put get using post? Yes. See, again, guys, here, first of all, guys, remember, here we are following some rules and regulations. If I don't want to follow rules, I can use get request for everything. I can use post request for everything. I can use delete request for creating data. That's possible. You can do that. But then again, how will you make other people understand your code? Because they will think delete is for delete. And which normal person will use delete for creation. So getting my point, it's a convention that we are following. It's a convention, it's a good practice that we are following. Otherwise I can just use delete endpoint for everything, because we write the code, we can do whatever we want. Okay guys, everyone, so now let's move ahead and let's do some real deal. Let's do some real thing. What say? Ready? Let's actually create a proper Pokemon API where all these operations will be actually successful. Proper. Ready? Guys, ready? Please confirm. Shall we do it? Guys, are we ready to complete our API? Also, one more thing, let's see. Here, so see, first, now you know one way of applying middleware. One way of applying middleware is you can just put it after your route. Function, post function or put function or whatever function, route and then the middleware function. But sometimes you want to apply middleware to all the endpoints. Sometimes you want to apply middleware to all the functions. So in that case, instead of writing the middleware here in the API endpoints itself, you can write it here on the top. Just write app.use. That's how you apply middleware. App.use express.json. But now the catch is this middleware will now be working with all the endpoints. This middleware will work with all the endpoints, even with get. But again, it will not do anything there because it's a get request. But this will only work for put and post. But now this middleware is applied for all the endpoints. So applying middleware. So that's how you apply middleware to all the functions, all the endpoints. But if you want to customize it, you can always go and mention it here itself directly. And if you want to put it globally, just use app.use. Are we cleared, guys? Are we cleared? Now then, let's move ahead. So first things first, let's read the file, because we have data in the file, right? Let's read the file. So const Pokemons, our data. And today, I'm directly going to parse it. I'm directly going to parse the data. Remember, in our file, everything is stored as JSON. In our file, everything is stored as JSON. But when I read JSON, I want to convert it into JS object so that I can perform, you know what? I can perform operations like adding, deleting, mapping, finding, all that stuff. Remember, guys, in this file, this data is in JSON string. But to operate on it, we need to convert into JS object. So JSON.parse. As soon as I read the file, and again, we need fs module, right? So let's go. Const fs equals require fs. Fine. And then fs dot read file sync. Which file to read? Pokemons.json. Or let's just mention it here somewhere. Const file path. Okay, so that we don't have to write it here like this. We can simply now mention file path and then encoding. Okay, great, guys. So now we read the JSON data from that file and convert JSON to JavaScript object and then store in Pokemons. And now then, instead of sending message, what can we do, guys? If someone asks for Pokemons, simply send them all the Pokemons. That's it. Save it and let's test. Let's test the get request. Get. See that, guys? Everyone see that? We got all the data, right? Everyone, guys, Can you see that? We got all the data. All the Pokemons are here. See? Simple get request is working for all the Pokemons. Cleared. First endpoint, it was this simple. If someone asks for Pokemons, simply send all the Pokemons. That's it. That's how simple it was. Now, next one. Next one is, in the Pokemons, we have IDs. So whatever ID user is sending, only that Pokemon I want to send. So it's an array of Pokemons. I need to find out the Pokemon with that ID first. So first, let's store this ID in a variable. Let ID equals request dot params dot ID. I stored the ID here, and now let's find out from the array. So Pokemons dot find from that array. See, this Pokemon's array we have, right? So Pokemons dot find Pokemon. Again, guys, this is all JavaScript. This is not related to Express. This is simple JavaScript. Return the element where Pokemon.id matches my ID, whichever I'm sending in the request, this ID, and return that Pokemon. So store it here, const Pokemon, and simply send it. Now instead of message, I'll send that single Pokemon. Are we cleared with this code, guys? Everyone? Are we cleared with this code? So in the request URL, we'll get the ID. We extract that ID. Then in the Pokemon's array, we find that Pokemon where the Pokemon's ID matches my ID. And we get that Pokemon. Once we get that, we send it in the response. And that's it. So let's see. Let's do one thing. Let's take any Pokemon. Let's take Venusaur. Let's take the ID of Venusaur. Take ID of Venusaur. And now send it in the request /ID. So see, guys, localhost 8000 /Pokemons / the ID of the Pokemon. So I should receive one single Pokemon based on that ID. See that? Venusaur. Are we cleared, guys? Is it working? Our API is working. See, with real data. It's just our database is a file. It's not a real DB. It's a file. But I hope we are cleared, right? Everyone, are we cleared? Guys, amazing, right? Hopefully we are cleared. Hopefully we are cleared. Cool, everyone? Understandable? Now then, now it's time for the actual tricky part, which is post request. I want to create some new Pokemon in that file. I want to create some new Pokemon in that file. So how do we do that? Let's go one by one. First, that means now, okay, let me copy the single Pokemon data because this is the structure of Pokemon, right? This is the structure of Pokemon. Let me copy this. This is what I'm going to be sending in my data. Let me create a new request actually for this. Okay. It's going to be a post request. And for now, remove all the headers. And it's a post request, so I need to send some body data. And this is going to be a body data. Let's create our new Pokemon, guys. And also, guys, while creation, you never send any ID. ID is either generated by the API or it is generated by the database uniquely. You never ever send ID in data. You simply send data. For now, we don't have a database. So we have to generate ID in API. And I forgot the library, so I'll research on internet which library to use to generate IDs. But again, let's create some Pokemon. Guys, tell me some Pokemon. Let's create Snorlax. Let's keep this thing same. These things. Let's keep all these things same. Let's just say level 56. So this is the new Pokemon I want to create in that file. This is the new Pokemon I want to create. But first, let's see if this data is coming in my program. First, guys, let's see if this data is coming in the program or not. coming in my console or not. If my post is working fine. Let's see. So I'm printing the body data. I'm printing the body data. That means this data should be printed in the console. So it should be printed here. Let's see. Send. And see, post request success. And also our data is printed in the console. See that, guys? Our data is printed in the console. Are we clear, guys, till now? Till now, we have not created it. But yes, whatever data we are sending in post, it is coming to the program. Are we cleared, guys? It is coming in the console. Can you please confirm, guys? Are we clear till now? Also, let me just put all of this in one line so that, it will be easier to look at. So now you can look at this in one line. Now, before adding this data to the file, I want to add an ID. I want to add a random ID to this Pokemon because in our database, all the Pokemons have IDs. So the new Pokemon if I create, I also want to add a ID. I want to add an ID. So let me show you how to add an ID. But before that, let's store this Pokemon somewhere. So let Pokemon equals request.body. I'm storing whatever Pokemon I'm getting, I'm storing in the Pokemon variable. Yes, I'm going to be using the UUID. Yes, exactly. So guys, the Pokemon that we are getting here, in the request.body, I've stored it in this variable. And now I'm going to be adding a new ID to it. So Pokemon.id, I'm adding a property called as ID equals to, now I need to use a UUID generator, a random ID generator which will generate ID for it, unique ID for it. Now I forgot the library, so I need to just check online once. And again, guys, as a developer, it's completely fine. You can always check. So UUID generator Node.js. Search for it. What's the library? Yep, see, there's a library called as UUID. That's great. And the functions, simple. UUID v4. Yes, that's it. So you need to install this package, guys. npm install UUID. Let's install this. Installed. Run the server again. And now let's import that. What was the name? UUID. Okay. And now to generate ID, we have to use that object UUID dot its function, which is v4. And is it a function or what? Let me just check the documentation once. Is it a function or what? Yeah, it's a function. See, it's a function. That's it. Now this should generate the ID for us. So let's print it. Let's remove this request.body printing and let's print the new Pokemon. And let's see first of all, let's see if it is getting printed in the console with the ID. Let's send the same data. Some issue in the code. See, it is not, the request is not going. What happened? But there is no error as well. Strange. No error, nothing, but why is that? Wrong function maybe. Or that UUID is taking time. Okay. Strange. Maybe that library is not that good. Or maybe I'm using the wrong function. Something like that. What's happening? Let's see. I don't want to use this import. I want to use, okay, require. Okay, we can do something like this, guys. And you can use the function. Okay, so let's import it like this. It is importing as, okay, let me do it. Let me do it. Let me do it. But I think it should be fine even if I use it in my way. It should be fine. I don't know why it's happening. Let's see. Let's do it in that way. Let's convert into, so let's say I want to import v4 as uuid v4. Okay, so what I did is from uuid package import v4 and name it as uuid v4 according to the documentation what we found online. See, so we are doing the exact same thing and then we are using that function. Let's see if it works or not now. Nope, maybe it's taking time. Why? Now it should be fine. Strange. Strange. I tested that. It didn't work. Why it's not working? What mistake am I making? Hmm. Let's see. The exact same thing, right? Why it's also no errors. Hmm. Very strange. We are doing the exact same thing. Exact same thing. Use ChatGPT. It will also give the same thing, right? Even if I use ChatGPT, let's see. Let's try. Uh, Creating UUID in Node.js. I think it will give the same thing. Exact same thing, right? What we are doing. I don't know why it's not working. See, exact same thing. No big deal. No, I removed that. I removed that. AJ answers. I removed that. I don't know why it's doing that. It should be easy. And for them, it is working. I don't know for me why it's not working. Why? Pokemon.id creating a new object. Strange. Okay, let's just print the only the UID ones. Let's see if some other thing is creating issue. Nope. By just including the package, we are getting this issue. See? By just including the package, we are getting this issue. So that UID is blocking us for some reason. No, that is what we do. We don't want to do that. We don't want to paste our code to ChatGPT. We have coded all this ourselves, right? Let's solve that in an old-fashioned way. Wait, why to paste our code on ChatGPT and all that stuff, buddy? Come on. We did so many things without even looking at ChatGPT once. We are doing it correctly. I don't know why it's not happening. Is it some version issue or something? I'm not sure. I think then we have to go with the crypto way for some time. I don't know why it is not working. I'm not exactly sure. It should work. It is exactly correct of what this guy is doing. Yeah, I think we should go with crypto. Yeah, I think we should go with crypto. Yes, I think we should go with crypto. Crypto has UID function. Let's go with crypto then. Let's install crypto. Let's close this. Let's import crypto. Let's first print it. Ah, we have random. Bro, great, great. Let's see first if it is generating. Let's first see. One, two, three. Ah, great. It is generating. Done. Thanks so much. Who was that? Uh, Lone Wolf. Thank you so much, buddy. Thank you so much. So, guys, instead of the UID package, we are using the crypto package to generate. So we don't have to use this package, and we can uninstall this package. So to uninstall, because if you keep package dangling which you are not using, it will increase the size of your project. So simply say npm uninstall UUID. So we have removed that. Okay, and now then we just have to go here and Pokemon dot id equals crypto dot random UUID. And that's it, guys. And now let's see the Pokemon object, if we are getting the ID with it or not. So guys, let's see everyone, shall we? Look out for the console, guys. In a Pokemon, we should have ID. 1, 2, 3. And see that, guys, we have an ID. And now we just have to put this Pokemon in that file. We just have to put this Pokemon in that file. Let's go. Last step for today. So first, remember guys, we have this Pokemon's array, right? We have this Pokemon's array. In that array, we'll put that new object. How do we put a new object in the array? Pokemons dot push this new Pokemon. Remove the console log. So first thing that we are doing, guys, is we are pushing this new Pokemon in the Pokemon's array. And then this array, new array, we have to put it in the file. So we have to replace the old data of file with new data, because new data has one more new Pokemon, right? In the file, we only have 10 Pokemons, but now we have added one more Pokemon. So we'll remove the old data and we'll put the new data. Simple. So the whole file will be updated. Let's go. Let's write file. So simple operation. We just have to write the file. That's all. No big deal. Just write the file. So in that case, we just have to do simple. What is it? fs dot. For now, let's just write file sync, and then the file path, and then the data. The data is JSON dot, because yeah, you cannot directly put JS array in file. You have to convert into JSON. This array, Pokemons, and encoding. And that's it, guys. Everyone, that's it. This should overwrite your file and remove all the old data and put a new data. So if there are 10 Pokemons, it will remove all the 10 Pokemons and put the new data of 11 Pokemons in that. Okay, and then, yeah, it's okay. AJ Rancis, it doesn't matter. It's an object. It is supposed to be like that. The properties can be randomly anywhere as long as all the properties are there. Sequence of properties doesn't matter, it's okay. So guys, are we ready? So what we are doing? We are getting the Pokemon data from the request. We are adding a new ID in that. Then we are pushing it in the Pokemon's array. That Pokemon's array also came from the file. Then we are writing that new array in that file, removing the old data. And that's it. Let's see. So you can see guys, right now in here, last Pokemon is Machamp, not Snorlax. After this Machamp, I'm expecting Snorlax to be added. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. And let's see the file. See that guys? The file format got changed because it got edited. Let's quickly get the A to write format selection. And see, everyone, what is the last Pokemon? Snorlax after Machamp. Now we have 11 Pokemons. So after Machamp, now we have Snorlax. File got edited. And that's how you do it, guys. A new data. So now you can actually keep on adding new Pokemons and your file will get updated. Is that clear, guys? Everyone? Are we cleared? Are we cleared? Guys, can you please confirm? In real time, instead of using a file, you will simply use a database. That's it. That's the major difference. Everything else will be exactly same. In here, we didn't have database or we didn't have that much time to use database. That's why we use the file. But again, we are doing the exact same thing. So guys, get for single Pokemon and post for creating a new Pokemon. Now I'm leaving it up to you to complete the put and delete. Put should be used for updating a Pokemon in the file, and delete should be used to remove a Pokemon from the file. I'm giving it as a homework to you guys. And this all code will be provided, don't worry. This all code will be provided to you by the moderators, by the team of LetsUpgrade. So don't worry about that. Yes. See, if you want to put a database in it, you just have to do a database connection. And it will be much more simpler than file reading writing. And then just have to, read the query and write things. That's all. Insert query, update query, delete query. Simple. Actually, that was my plan. But then, okay, let me take it. Let me take 2 minutes, guys, just to show you how to create a custom middleware. Ready? Everyone ready? Let me take those 2 minutes. So first of all, guys, see. Let me take 2 minutes. Quickly, I'll create a custom middleware. As I mentioned, middleware is also a function only. Middleware is also a function, no big deal. Create a function. Let's call it random middleware. Okay. Remember, guys, a middleware function will always have 3 parameters: request, response, and a next function. Always 3. Remember, endpoint functions only have 2 parameters: request, response. Request, response. Middleware functions have 3 parameters: request, response, and next. Why? I'll tell you. So see, that's it. Actually, that's it, guys. Middleware. And now let's put this middleware in the delete function. So just call that function here, random middleware. So now what will happen when a request comes for delete method for this route? Request will not go to this. First, it will go to this random middleware. And the whole request is available here. Now let me block it for you. What I'm saying is, if ID is less than 10, I want to block. This should not go as response. So, see guys, remember, this request is first going to go to middleware and then going to go to endpoint. So whatever is available in the request here, it's also available in here. Okay. So simple. If request dot, similar to your endpoint, guys, params.id for now, and let's convert into number because I want to check it less than 10. If it is less than 10, then simply from here only I'll send response. And I want the status to be 401. Some issue. You are passing the wrong ID. And only if it is not less than 10, then we want this middleware to forward the request to the endpoint. So to forward the request, you have to call the next function. Next simply means forward the request from middleware to the actual endpoint. So if you read the whole code, what will happen? Let me teach you properly. If a request comes for delete method and for this route, the request will not go to the endpoint now. First, the request go to the middleware. There I'm checking. If the request ID which is coming is less than 10, then simply send a response from here only. No need to move to the endpoint. Blocked. Response from middleware. If it is greater than or equal to 10, then next. Next takes the request to the endpoint. It allows you to move forward to the actual endpoint. Now then let's test it. See how simple it was actually. So middleware is also kind of like an endpoint function, but it gets called before the actual endpoint. Let's test it. Let's test delete. Delete. And guys, first, let's pass the ID as 2, which is less than 10. So middleware should respond us. And see guys, oh, some issue. Why? What happened? Why? Strange. Why it is behaving like this? Why not IDs? No, that's fine. It's just a function, buddy. It's not like that. Like even if I move it, I think, okay, let me move it. But I don't think so. That should be an issue. But again, you never know. Let me put it down. It's already crashing. It's by default crashing. Okay. Why is that happening? It should not happen. I might making some silly mistake. I'm calling it here. I'm calling it here. It should work. It should be some really silly mistake. Very silly mistake. It should be this much only. It's a very silly mistake somewhere. Because if I'm calling it here, it should be working. You don't have to put brackets, guys. See, as I mentioned, silly mistake. Silly mistake. You don't have to put brackets. That's it. You don't have to call the function. You just have to mention it like a middleware. It will get called internally. So silly mistake. Don't put the brackets. That's it. And now then let's go. See, and here we go. You got it right. 401. Wrong ID. See guys, wrong ID. That means you're getting a response from here. It didn't let you go to the actual endpoint. It will let you go only if this condition you satisfy. That means if it is greater than 10, then it will move next. And then it will allow you to move to the actual endpoint. So let's go. And let's pass 12. And now see, you got your delete request successful. That means it went to the middleware, then from there the condition was fine, then it called next, you move to the endpoint, and then from there you got delete request successful. So that's how easy it is to create your own middleware, guys. That's how easy it is to create your own middleware. And I did a silly mistake, I'm sorry about that, but it happens. So guys, are we all cleared? And now it's up to you. Code whatever you want in this middleware. You have request, you have response, you have next. Do whatever you want based on that. So everyone, guys, are we all cleared? So now you actually know a lot about APIs. You know about request, you know about response, you know about middlewares, how to create. Now you just have to do few things. You just have to learn about database connections. And that's it. You're almost done. And guys, learn about authentication and authorization. Very important topic. Maybe in future we'll do that. Maybe in future we'll do that someday. Authentication, authorization. So I can teach you that as well. So that will be a full furnished API development. So yeah, about the roadmap, as I promised, I'll do that as well. About the roadmap, you need first basic request response. Learn about headers. Learn about status codes. Very important. Learn about creating endpoints, which we have already done. Routing. So these things we have already almost done. Okay. Then after that, authentication, authorization. Very important topic. Middlewares. Again, I have given you some basics. You can dive deep. Middlewares. Then JWT. Learn about JWT. It is related to authentication authorization. So learn how to work with tokens and send tokens. And then finally, hashing. Hashing and encryption. Very important. Database connections. Okay. And then what else can you have? What else can you have? Security. And that should be enough. If you know this much, yeah, validations. Yeah, that comes under security, but okay, let me put it here. Validations and route protections. These are all the things you need to know to become a master API developer. These are all the things. And almost 60% we have covered here. Now you just have to dive deep and add some more things in that. And if you know this much, you are an API developer in any language, in any technology. Is that clear, guys? Everyone, are we cleared? So these are all the things that you need to know to become a proper API developer. Okay, and some more here and there, but these are the main concrete things. Okay, so yep, guys, that's all for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed the whole 3 days. We tried to cover as much as possible, and I'll see you in the next sessions whenever I'm there for any other particular session. And I hope you enjoyed. If you have, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new. And once the video ends, please don't forget to comment. Please don't forget to comment whatever you felt about the session. Okay? So thank you so much, everyone, and a very happy Diwali to all of you and your family. May you have a very, very great Diwali. So thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye, everyone. Good night.